Good evening again. Welcome to the 12th Planet Press launch. We'd like to start with a little music and a reading. Jason.
Of wine and stepped out to watch the late afternoon sunlight sparkle on the white caps.
The clouds seemed closer, lower, thicker. The wind blew wet and crisp. The sun spearing in from the west made the gathering storm, all glowing pinks and greys, seem surreal over the deep green ocean. Seagulls wheeled and side-slipped like kites. The surf sounded excited, like a crowd warming up before the main event. Melanie drained her glass and walked to the beach. It was bare. Maybe the looming storm had chased everyone away. She looked north, almost expecting to see the white-shrouded neighbour who had so inflamed their interest the night before. But the beach remained empty, sand skittering across the softer heights of the dune. The ocean grew darker as the sun sank. Plovers made their ratchet cry in the dusk, but you couldn't see them, couldn't see any birds at all, not a single living thing. She kicked off her sandals, then kneeled and put them side by side near the flaking, weather-beaten, guests-only sign that marked the path to Eden. She left her cabin key there too. She began to unzip her tracksuit top, then stopped. She approached the water, hesitating at the first frigid licks against her feet. She'd just get to the beacon, she told herself. Melanie waded in, knocked back a few steps by each wave, the freezing water stealing her breath as it splashed higher. Finally, she had to swim. The beacon flashed. Green means go. She forced another clumsy overarm stroke. A moth to the flame, she thought. Her pants slipped down around her thighs. Her sodden top made it almost impossible to even dog paddle. Her breath came in ragged fits as icy salt water filled her mouth and throat, making her splutter. With each cough, she took in more and more, her body growing heavier and heavier, and the sea pulling her down. A wave picked her up, rolled her. She glimpsed a figure on the beach, a pale phantom. Richard? She tried to call to him. For help? Simply goodbye? She didn't know. No words came. No sudden flash of insight. Watery fingers pulled at her clothes and her body, reached into her nose and mouth and throat, stabbed her eyes. The horizon blurred into sky and sea. All was grey, deepening to black, growing darker and darker, colder and colder, quieter and quieter. The current pushed her, pulled her this way and that, but inevitably downwards. She kicked at the constraint of her pants around her legs, then fell limp, her energy spent, her desire leached into the sea, seduced by silence. It was easier to simply rest, relax, surrender.
Thank you, Jason. Nahrung. And I'm just twiddling here trying to bring up the cover of your book, Salvage. And thank you also to Talie Helene for musical accompaniment there.